I am sitting in the examination hall. It is the final semester of my college degree. I am sitting in my wheelchair. My hands are paralyzed. I cannot even hold a pen to write. The head of the mathematics department has arranged a junior student to act as my scribe. He is sitting right next to me. Because it was a sudden arrangement, we have had barely any time to synchronize or rehearse together. The invigilator walks down the aisle. He places the mathematics question paper on my desk. I look down at the questions. There are complex equations from topology, numerical analysis, and complex analysis. My heart starts to pound. I realize I have to solve these massive mathematical calculations entirely in my mind, in my head. I have to dictate every single symbol, every bracket, and every formula out loud to my scribe. And if I forget one simple single variation, the entire equation collapses. I feel a massive wave of pressure. How can I retain all these facts, formulas, and data with absolute no physical backup? Friends, have you ever sat in an exam hall looking at the question paper and realized the formula you memorized last night has completely vanished from your brain? Well, think about it. Hey there, Raghu here, your certified memory coach on wheels. Welcome to my podcast. The topic of today's episode is the exam hall, where my mind became my weapon. Having survived a severe spinal cord injury, I learned that our true power is not in our hands, but in our mind. And now I am on a mission to help students and competitive exam aspirants stop struggling with rote learning and tap into the infinite potential of their brains using proven memory techniques. That day in the exam hall, my brain was put to the ultimate test. I could not rely on writing things down on rough paper to jog my memory. I had to dictate complex mathematical answers out loud, and by a real miracle, my scribe understood every word. When the results came out, my final GPA was my best of all my preceding semesters. Well, friends, I did not achieve that by staring blankly at textbooks. I achieved it by building a bulletproof system to log data into my mind. Students come to me with the same deep pain, the inability to retain facts, formulas, and data for a long time. Well, you spend 6 hours memorizing a periodic table, a historical timeline, or a complex theorem. You feel great, but 3 days after, it is completely gone, blank. You feel frustrated, you feel like your brain is a leaky bucket, but here's the truth: your brain is not broken. You are just using the wrong software to save the files. Today we are going to deep dive. I am going to install the ultimate 6 step vault system into your mind. If you follow these 6 steps, you will never lose a fact or a formula again. So let's begin. Step 1: meaning before memory. Your brain is incredibly efficient at deleting garbage. You know, if you try to memorize a string of random numbers or a formula without understanding what it actually does, your brain categorizes it as junk data and deletes it while you sleep. So never memorize blindly. Always find the logical core meaning first. Now, step 2: compress into smart triggers. You cannot memorize a textbook word for word, it is too heavy. You need to become a master of compression. When you have a massive list of facts, you must compress them into smart triggers. Take a complex 10 step process, for example, and find one critical keyword for every single distinct conceptual step. Are you getting it? So that was step 2. Now let's come to step 3: visual and story encoding. See, Raw data is boring, and boring is forgettable. Your brain evolved to remember locations, yeah, predators, and vivid stories. If you want to remember a complex chemistry formula, you must use visual and story encoding. Turn the elements into characters. Make them fight each other or something like that. Make the scenes completely delightfully ridiculous. Something very illogical. Now, step 4. Use specific memory systems. When you lose your car keys, it is because you did not give them a specific home, a specific location. Information in your brain works the exact same way. You must give your data a specific location, a home address. Yeah. Well, its location, home address was on a lighter note. Use memory systems like memory pals to anchor historical dates into familiar household rooms. All right, now let's come to step 5. Execute spaced repetition protocols. You cannot study a formula once and expect it to stay there for 6 months. Yeah. We lose up to 70% of new information within 24 hours. Are you getting it? Let me repeat. We lose up to 70% of the new information within 24 hours. Well, to beat this, you must use spaced repetition. View the data 1 day later, 3 days later, and 1 week later continuously. Now, let's discuss the last step, step 6. Perform active retrieval practice. Stop trying to push information into your brain by rereading your notes. Rereading is a passive illusion. You must practice pulling the information out of your head. This is retrieval practice. So close the book, stare at a blank wall, or close your eyes as well, and force your brain to recall the entire complex mathematical formula. Friends, when I sat in that exam hall, unable to hold a pen, my mind was my only weapon. Because I had encoded my mathematical formulas with meaning, triggers, and retrieval practice, they were locked in a vault that panic could not break. Yeah. So, are you finally ready to step off the treadmill of blind effort and start running to win? Drop a comment below and tell me which habit will you change today. Well, friends, I am Raghurama Bhat, your memory coach on wheels. Subscribe, follow, join my community, and thank you for listening to me. Have a good day. Bye bye.